Okay, I would like to start off with a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Moved, any second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
Moved and second, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the agenda passes. Next, we'll move on to staff student recognition, West Albany High School cheer. Bruce.
In an effort to recognize students and staff who achieve excellence in school activities and academic programs, tonight we have the opportunity to acknowledge West Albany High School's cheer program and their accomplishments at the state tournament. Principal Rich Engel will be sharing the details of their incredible accomplishments.
Thanks for having us. I'm incredibly proud to present to you our 2025-2026 varsity cheer squad led by head coach Morgan Wadlow. They were incredible this year and continue to be incredible as they're cheering at our basketball games. They went to state on Valentine's Day, February 14th, and brought home a second place trophy in the 5A, 6A co-ed traditional division. So I would like to invite Coach Wadlow and our squad to come on up.
It's this way.
In the center.
Make sure it's board. You ready for that?
Yeah, you guys are in for that.
Oh, all right, I guess that's what we're doing. Okay. Little miscommunication. We're on.
You're going to squish together so we can get everybody answering the floor.
We could have, but we never do, so.
We're really bad.
It's learning. Wait for the old guys.
Coach Bell.
Thank you. Go, Miss Bell.
Ready? Okay.
Get up, down practice.
Okay, Bruce.
In an effort to recognize students and staff who achieve excellence in school activities and academic programs, tonight we have the opportunity to acknowledge South Albany High School's cheer team and their accomplishments at the state tournament. Principal Chad Angel will be sharing the details of that tournament.
Good evening. Like West Albany, we were competing at the state championships earlier this month. The cheer team's hard work that they've been putting in all year paid off with a fourth place finish in the 5A small traditional. I'd like to welcome Allie Garwood and our cheer team up here, please.
All right, that's a great way to start it off. I love celebrating kids.
Absolutely.
So proud of both high schools. Amazing. Good job. Okay, moving on, we are on to board business. First thing I want to talk about in this area tonight is the superintendent evaluation. We have the evaluation document updated. We want to kind of finalize the process today. The first thing I guess we want to discuss is, let me get my glasses So we talked last time, the language has been added in italics. So we wanted, is there any questions or discussion needed about the form? I guess we'll kind of just do that informally. If any of you guys had a chance to look, any thoughts on that?
It looks okay to me.
Yeah. You guys good with that? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Second bullet point is administrator feedback. Questions determined, should we ask additional questions so you can see the questions that we're going to ask the administration team.
Let's see them.
The reason that, at least from my perspective, we solicit feedback from the administration team is because the job of the superintendent and the district office is to support building leadership, and building leadership support teachers and they support kids, right? So it's kind of a pyramid system. And so it's important for me anyway to have feedback to make sure our building leaders are getting what they need out of the district office. I think that hasn't always felt like that was the case. So I want to keep an eye, I like to keep an eye on that.
It seems like you could ask that question.
Yeah,
Are you getting what you need?
getting what you need.
Yeah, I think that's what I would add to this.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Yeah, well, that's a nice open-ended question and way to ask what more could be done to help them out. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's, if somebody who worked in the business, I'll tell you, HR's got to get their paperwork done so you can get your staff in place. And business has to make sure you understand what your budget is. And curriculum's got to make sure that they have what you need. And so all those pieces have to work out of the district officer. They make it difficult
Yeah,
for you to run your building. So it's a sort of a generalized question of are you getting what you need is probably pretty good. Okay, the next is the exec session. Before or after the regular board meeting. We did it after last year, and I thought that worked best. That way you don't, a couple of strengths of that is, one, we got through the board business, and then we were able to just have that discussion and then go home. We weren't under any kind of time constraint to get it done in time to start the meeting, and there's no real reason to try to get it early and get it done.
right.
Unless anybody has any objections to continuing with it like that.
No, I think that's a smarter way to do it.
Okay,
And we might even talk about limiting some of the board business that night just to get us done a little bit earlier, to be able to spend a little more time, because it's kind of an important function of what we do.
Yeah.
So we can take a peek at that and maybe not pile too much on that meeting.
okay. Last year it was the same time as the same night as our listening session. Is it that way again? Yeah, makes for a long night, but that's okay. Listening session starts early anyway. And then board member interest in being appointed to lead the evaluation process. So last year we had two people doing it. It was Pete and I, which were the board chair and the vice chair. I'm going to tell you this year, I shouldn't do it. I'm also going to take this opportunity to let you guys know that we're possibly moving, and I may not be able to finish my term. So I may not, for health reasons, I can't live in a two-story house anymore. My wife works in Salem, my kids live in Portland, so if we got to sell the house anyway, it doesn't make sense to move it north, move it north. So I don't know what the timing on that will be, but it could happen before my term's up, and it could happen before this process concludes. So I don't think I should be one of the two people leading it. Anybody else?
I'm happy to be a part of that.
I'd be willing to be part of that.
Okay.
Okay. That works for me. It works for you.
No, I think that's fantastic.
Okay. Excellent. So for first action, let's appoint. I'll actually go ahead and move to appoint Brad and Chris to lead the evaluation process.
I'll second that.
All right. So that's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Do you want to approve the evaluation form and administrator feedback questions, adding the question, are you getting what you need from the district office? All right. Can I get a motion for that?
I will motion to approve that with the added question of are you getting what you need from the district office?
Okay. A second.
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And we need a motion to schedule the executive session following the regular board meeting on May 18th.
Mr. Chair, I move to schedule an executive session following the meeting on May 18th.
I second that.
All right, it's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We are good there. All right, next is the board meeting annual calendar. We have to approve the school calendar every year, so Looks like we want to discuss listening sessions and potential work session times on the calendar. There was a draft calendar in the packet, right? Yeah, I looked at it earlier.
On the packet.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
All right, is there any comments on the calendar? Are the listening sessions on there?
Where are they? Because I was looking for them and didn't see a different color or,
It's the green.
oh, there we go. Oh, if I would read the whole thing, yes, exactly right.
It's tiny.
That works.
Yeah,
Looks good.
looks good. All right, no July meeting.
Yeah, because there's not an election scheduled, we are not required to have a meeting in July, and not a lot of business really gets done unless
Right.
you're swearing in a new board, so that's about the only business that happens there.
Yeah,
That looks fine. We have had to rearrange a few things this year, so I assume that if there are problems next year, we can rearrange it. This is a
It's
sensible-
not concrete, yeah, we're
it's a
good.
starting point.
Yeah.
okay. If there's no further discussion, then we'll take a motion to approve the school board meeting as presented.
I move that we approve the school board meeting calendar as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Oh, next is our E3 reduction in force plan. So per our policy, the superintendent needs to prepare a reduction plan identifying which programs. So in order to then do that, if there's a potential that we need to reduce force, there has to be a plan for that. Certified positions are at the next board meeting for board approval. So I guess the discussion is we just need to direct the superintendent to create that RIF plan. So everybody's pretty up to speed on understanding why we have to do that? Any discussion?
Fortunately, yes.
Mr. Chair, I move to direct the superintendent to create a reduction in force plan.
Good.
A second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Then we are on to district leadership team update, superintendent report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have an overhead. We'll give you guys a little bit of an update on the legislative session, which just closed this last weekend.
Andy, move your mic a little closer.
We'll discuss the bills that are related to education and budget summary from the session. Talk a little bit about the long-range committee, and then we'll just give a quick bargaining update. We're in bargaining with our classified GAACE union. I apologize for how small that is. It was easier to read on my computer. So just kind of an overview of some bills that passed. Remember, the short session is very limited in time and scope. I believe that legislators only get 2 bills to enter into the process, and so that greatly diminishes the number. Some that are important, and I think we'll be looking to do work on as time goes by. HB 4079 focuses specifically on schools, outlining processes for responding to verified ICE actions on campus, including how we are going to notify students, families, staff, and service providers in such an event. And these will be board policies to be adopted and in place by September 30th, 2026. I'm sure we'll be presenting you an OSBA model policy for us to look at. Access to public schools for all students, Senate Bill 1538. In 1982, the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled that all children, regardless of immigration or legal status, have been guaranteed access to and enrollment in the nation's public schools. The bill strengthens previous codification of this right in Oregon law by adding instructional programs and expanding educational anti-discrimination law to include citizenship or immigration status as a protected class under this law. And it is, unless otherwise exempted, such as foreign exchange students. There also is typically, we've seen this in the short session each time, but we have several things in education, bills were passed during the long session last year that may need some technical fixes to that. Most notable, and what we're sharing here, is we have a policy now that requires at least one member of the district equity committee to be on the committee. But it had not worked out what the district was to do if no one on the equity committee was willing to serve, right? And so there's a clarification there now which allows districts who do not have someone who's willing to serve that they can fill that position. So, and there are a couple others, and we can talk about those a little bit more as time goes by, but those would probably be the big three. The budget impact, we were nervous that given the revenue forecast since the close of last year's session, that they were not trending. We were a little bit behind. HR 1 created a lot of that. K-12 funding remained intact. No cuts were made to the general fund, the SIA, the Student Investment Account Fund, as well as state grants, such as the literacy grant that this district has. Those things were left untouched. The legislature declined to utilize either the rainy day fund or the education stability fund at this time. I think that there is still some risk of recession, and there still are some things that I don't know are truly accounted for overall. For example, we know that the transportation, the gas tax for the transportation fund is still, if it were to be recalled, would still punch a hole in the state's budget at this time, and I think there was a reluctance to use reserves because of that. It was positive, no further cuts came to education, and now we just have to address the existing budget allocation, the loss of student enrollment, as well as just the other problems from HR 1 that are forcing the state to look at different ways that they've been allocating the money. We had the Long Range Facility Committee on March 3rd. Several things happened that I thought were positive and productive. Sage Architects reviewed the differences between a long-range facility plan and a possible bond measure. We had already done a couple of costing exercises for the bond, and yet it seemed like the group was wanting more on what our existing schools needed so that we were maintaining them. And if we just pushed everything out and said, let's go for building projects in a bond and left some of our buildings without what they needed, we've got a lot of old buildings in this district. I think it's 18 that were built before 1972, and they need TLC. We did hear facility staff define those maintenance needs, what the priorities were for the next 5 years and beyond. And then we looked at a survey of Albany voters, which I think helped to give us direction in terms of what projects might be included in a bond eventually. And the other thing I have to add is we had our third meeting with the classified bargaining team. It went well, and I think total of 13 articles were exchanged. So a really productive meeting where we got a lot of things explained and the whys behind those. And I think that's going forward into early April when we'll have our next meeting. But it was great. And I think Jane will talk about more specifics in the budget.
So last month when I talked with you, I told you from what I knew that I was projecting a $10 million deficit between 26-27 revenue and expenditures. And then since then, I've learned a lot more, and every day the picture changes. But I received my first estimate from ODE for 26-27, and I was $2 million off on my projections from what the state level would be. You know, that's projecting what all the other districts are doing. So actually a pretty good projection on my part. But so we have $2 million more than I thought we would get. So that's a good thing. And then in reviewing SIA, at DLT, we discussed that the curriculum that's purchased that's in SIA would not take place, so that reduced expenditures by $1 million. And then I also received an updated 25-26 estimate from ODE, and we received an additional 400,000. So that took the 10 million down to about 6.6. And I do know that ODE plans to redo 26-27 again. They gave it to us because they have to statutorily meet that March 1 deadline. But then all of the school district have a chance to look at the data, make changes. Are their tax projections right? Are their ADM correct? And as they make changes, of course, we all get balanced out. So we will receive another update at some point on that. And also, we were notified by ODE, we had one last chance to make changes to 24-25. That's balanced out in May, and so that will bring additional changes. So I'm just updating you where we are because it is good news, but there's still much to learn and a lot of work to do. Any questions on that?
So if we gave you another 6-8 months, you'd have really great news?
It goes up and down. I just told you the kind of the net result. It really goes up and down a lot.
It's been a good week.
It's been, yeah, I understand.
Okay.
And then Dave and I have been working on food service projection, and he'll talk with you about the RFP later. But this financial report is just a way I use to project for the general fund. This particular one is food service. The two important numbers are the bright yellow one. We began the year with 1.5 million as a beginning fund balance. And those funds grew during the COVID time period when all students ate free. Before that, if I look back, the general fund was supplementing the food service program. And so as Dave and I planned the transition to genuine, we increased FTE. We had projected more of like a 350,000 deficit. So this is less. It's like 240,000. So we feel good about that. We actually at 1.5 million are over the allowable ODE fund balance, and every year we have to report how we're going to bring that down. So this year that was an easy report to complete. And I think for a really good cause. I think the food quality has improved greatly. And the next slide is just a different summarization of the report I just showed you. So the total revenue includes that beginning fund balance. And then the total expenditures are the projected year to date. And it just shows that our ending fund balance will go from 1.5 to 1.3. So just a different way of looking at that same data.
Jane, do you project that into the future? Will it stabilize, or do we consider, or we're going to have a declining balance over time?
I really think it's going to continue to decline, maybe at a slower rate because we did purchase equipment and like I said, we had to make a lot of changes. But districts across the state are seeing that.
1.9 purchase services, that's genuine, right? That's check we write
Yes.
them.
Yes,
And then they buy the food, the equipment, all the rest of that.
yes.
Yeah.
So over the long run, will we need to have some general fund money to go back into that to keep the quality up? Because I'm in favor of doing so, but I just kind of curious, you know, at a $250,000 burn rate, you've got another 5 years before you're basically out of money.
Yeah, I would want to wait and see what next year looks like because we have a new contract.
Okay.
And, this was new to Genuine. They've been trying a lot of foods.
Sure.
And as they get it nailed down, I think that will decrease a little bit. But inflation will have a big part on that too. So it's really a guess at this point. It's a
Okay, that's fair.
possibility, Brad.
Yeah,
I think
it's fair.
many districts are there now.
Is there, speaking of other districts, is there like an industry standard of try to break even with food service, or always everybody takes a hit, or some, do you know?
Well, it's always the goal to break
Right,
even.
but do most districts do that, or nobody does?
I don't think there's very many districts that are at that point right now.
Okay.
Even in the public sector, food is very difficult to make money in. most of the restaurants and stuff make it off of beverages and other things as opposed to food. And food is just a really, really tight margin.
Okay.
As our numbers increase, that will help us. Like I said, we thought the deficit would be greater, but Dave and Genuine have done a great job of increasing our numbers in spite of a declining enrollment. So I think that's what made the difference, that it will be less.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then we are on to board member reports. We had, Andy already talked about the LERFAC. Do you have anything else to add to that?
It was just really kind of eye-opening seeing the facilities report conditions on the different schools and what needed to be done, and
Okay.
just, it was good. I think it prompted a lot of really good discussion within our table groups within the room in the meeting, so interested to see, there were questions asked that answers are going to come back next month, and I'm interested to see those answers.
Okay. Good. Was there further discussion about space at LERFAC? I'm just fascinated to see how every principal I've ever met doesn't think their school's big enough. And all the numbers show us that our schools are plenty big. So I'm just curious if that debate continues to happen and how that's going.
Well, I think it'll come up here as we work a little more on enrollment. and
Yeah.
What to do about that. There were a couple of principals who wanted to explain how their building operated and why the space was at a premium. But I think in general, most people have an understanding of that now.
Oh, okay, so that's kind of settled at this point.
So we'll use that along with the enrollment trends, and we'll begin to do some work with that committee in the next month.
Okay.
In that meeting, starting to come up with like recommendations and possibilities of consolidations.
Okay. Cool, thanks. Any other board member reports?
Yeah. Couple things. I've been attending the bargaining sessions for the classified union, been enjoying that. We made some pretty good progress this last time. I did have to duck out of that meeting for a little bit because I was honored to go to Sunrise, and I was put in room 7 in the first grade and got to read to some students that came in with their families, and got to reread some Dr. Seuss that I hadn't read for eons, and enjoyed it immensely. So I had a really good time reading to the kids, and I would look forward to doing that again.
Cool.
Director Wilson, which titles did you read?
Well, there was The Cat in the Hat, and there was One Fish, Two Fish,
All right.
and the
Red
hardest,
fish, blue fish?
yes, and that was the hardest one.
That's because you didn't
That-
have to read green eggs and ham.
No, I read Green Eggs and Ham too. Oh yeah, that's actually my favorite. I can almost do them from heart. But the One Fish, Two Fish is a tongue twister. That's
Theodore
rough one.
Geisel, master.
All right, cool. Okay, then let's go on to student board member reports. Looks like it's you, Zion.
Yes. So I don't have that much to report on because the last meeting was pretty recent, but I do
Yeah.
have some updates. So for basketball, last week was our playoffs games. Both of our teams made it, but the boys lost in the first round to Centennial 74-89, and their overall record was 22-4, which only one of the losses was actually a league loss. The rest of it was during the Capital City Classic. So the first time that they lost this whole season in the league was the playoffs. That kind of sucked. And then girls basketball won their first playoff game against Bend 76-46. They have a game this Thursday, I believe, at 3:15 versus Crater at Linfield. And then Stinson was also named Coach of the Year, so that's pretty good. And then also this is the first time since the 1980s-ish since that both the boys and the girls have been league champions together, so that's a pretty cool thing. Dance has state not this weekend but the next one. They have won every single competition this season, and they have the highest scoring pom routine, so we're assuming they're gonna place pretty well. Our performing arts, we're getting ready for our festival season, so this Wednesday, Wind Ensemble is going to the OSU Band Festival, and then tomorrow is Choir Districts at Silverton. The musical opened last week. It was a great opening week. We had a lot of sickness throughout the cast, and so Friday we had understudies. So Kaylin Rose and Julia Johnson were understudying for Anna, and then Queen Adina. And then Saturday, Jessica Mitchell understudied for Bolda. So it was a great show throughout. And then this week also, if you guys are still interested in going, we do have showings on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th at 7 o'clock. And then the 14th had a matinee at 1, but it's sold out. So maybe we have tickets at the door. I don't think we do, though. And then ASB, right now our ASB Council is planning our Mental Health Week. It's the first time we're ever doing this. It's going to be May 18th through 22nd. We're going to do like morning announcements. It's going to be positive messages. And then that Friday, it's going to be kind of like a cultural day schedule. We're going to have like a pretty nice speaker and different stations. So if you guys want to come and be there on that day, you are always welcome. And then just campus activities. We did have the blood drive last month, which was a total success. We had a bunch of people participate. We ran out of Power Red. People had to transfer to just normal blood donations because we had so many people wanting to donate and to get back. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. All right, on to committee, community, and school presentations. Mr. Gardner?
Yeah, I want to introduce Peggy Burst to present on the Albany Public School Foundation, probably one of the great public school supporting foundations in the state. And I know she's got a couple of other people in the audience who are also board members here, Joanne and Pat.
And Dana. And Dana.
Oh, that's right, Dana. There.
Well, I want to thank you all so much for allowing me to come and speak. And yes, I was going to introduce the people in the audience with me that's joined me tonight. Joanne Alford is our board president, and she's been a long-time member of the foundation. And we are very lucky to have her, as well as she was an outstanding teacher for West Albany High School for many years. So she brings a lot of knowledge and information to our foundation from a teacher's perspective. I wanted to come here tonight. I have not come here since I joined the foundation 2.5 years ago. I work with some of you each individually, but I wanted to come and share some of the great things that we do at the foundation that support our teachers and our students in our school district. We've got a lot of different programs, and my PowerPoint has been a little sliced down, but I'm going to share with you a lot of numbers just because, to be totally transparent, we have lost a great deal of funding going into this next school year. So I'm going to report how great we did this last year, and we're going to continue to work and do great things by finding some more funding. The first grant that we offer comes to the principals in the summer. Before they take their summer off, we reach out to them and let them know that enrichment grants are open. And principals can apply for these grants, and we partner with the school district on this grant. And so you put in some funds, we put in some funds so that the principals can get things for their schools. And here's some examples. Waverly applied for funding for their STEM, their Amazing Explorers Specials classroom. And then South Shore every year asks for funding for their strings programs. And this gives those kids at South Shore an opportunity to get into music at a very young age. And we're really proud to support that. And we're really happy the principal continues to want that program to continue and apply for grants. This last year in enrichment grants, we gave out $72,900. Moving on to classroom grants. This is where teachers now can apply for grants, and these come out in the fall. The teachers have the opportunity to go on and apply for these grants, and they can be anything from Calapooya Middle School Soccer Club to, this is one of my favorites, Memorial Middle School did a DNA lab, and they requested funds to buy licorice and little mini marshmallows and toothpicks so they could put together the DNA. As a student, way back when, I like tactical things, and I think students learn that way really well, and so I thought that would have been perfect in science for me. And then a lot of schools apply for funding for school gardens, and that is one of our favorite things because we know that gets the kids out there learning how to grow healthy food and have the opportunity to go home and share that with their families. This last year, we gave out $94,500 in classroom grants. Timber Ridge applied for funding for their archery after-school program, and then Oak Grove did an indoor recess equipment. Not always is there fun things to do when it's rainy days in Oregon, so they are looking for ways to keep the kids active indoors, even on rainy days. This is something brand new that we started. It's been open a full year now, is Peely's Teacher Supply House. Our goal when this was envisioned was a few years ago before I got to the foundation, which is 2.5 years ago, was a way that we could have teachers stop buying school supplies and classroom supplies out of their own pocket. We know that is happening, and we did not want that to happen anymore under our watch. So we piloted the program last year. We started out K through 2, and then at the second semester we opened it up 3 through 5 and added in pre-K. And this last year, starting in fall, in August actually, we opened up to all grades. We did a teacher survey saying, what do you want? What do you need? What are things that we should carry? The picture on your left is what our supply house looks like, and I encourage you to come visit us. Oh, by the way, we're out at Clover Ridge Grade School. And the room is just filled full of supplies. The teachers order just like they were on Amazon. They put it into their cart. It gets sent to us, and then we fill the orders because we have some wonderful volunteers who come in and help us. And then thanks to the courier and Dave Bolin being a wonderful partner, the couriers deliver that to the schools for us. There's Peely, it's our mascot. How Peely stays funded is we have supply drives. We have a online supply drive coming up in April. And then in August, we went out and set up in front of Fred Meyer, Bi-Mart, and Walmart. And as people went in, we gave them a shopping list and said, while you're in there shopping, pick up a few things for us. And the community really stepped up. That was huge. We also reached out to local businesses, Pacific Power, Clayton Homes, ATI, and said, do a fun in-house competition between departments. And that paid off. Took me quite a few carloads to get some of those supplies home from those businesses. So I'm proud to announce, since we opened up to all grades starting in August, we've given out $42,362.43 in classroom and school supplies. That would have been spent by our teachers. And so we're really proud of that. We also are proud of that takes the burden off of some parents to find that little bit of money because their child needs to replace pencils or crayons or glue sticks. So we're really proud of this program. Scholarships. It's scholarship season. Our scholarships this year opened up February 13th, and they will close this Friday, March 13th. And this year, so these are real numbers for this year, we'll be awarding 150 scholarships worth $274,000 to graduating seniors in our 3 high schools. That would not be possible if it wasn't for the fabulous community of donors that we have that want scholarships in their name or in a family member's name or just because. Since 1991, we've given out over $1.7 million in scholarships. I'll speak for Joanne, but this is her favorite thing that we do. It's a lot of work. Our scholarship program is amazing because it's super easy for the students to maneuver. They go in, they put in their information, what their activities are, what their likes are, what their after-school activities, their work. We have one car dealership in town that this year is going to award somebody who's had to work during the school year along with going to school. Those students are often overlooked, but they may be working to help support their gas or helping to support their family. So we're really excited. We have a large range of scholarships, 150 of them to be exact. So you'll see us out at award season when it starts, usually with South Albany, Albany Options, and then West Albany wraps it up, giving out all of these scholarships. And there's some of our last year's recipients. Many of you might recognize Matt Bennett there. He started a scholarship last year for perfect attendance. His scholarship's named the Bill Carr Scholarship. Bill Carr was very instrumental to Matt growing up, and Bill Carr's philosophy was if you show up, you succeed. So Matt Bennett has a scholarship with us with $10,000 for the best attendance at West Albany High School. Anybody can start a scholarship. Our student assistance program, probably one of my favorite things that we do. I love this program so very much. The high schools each choose students to be a part of this program. And we pair these students up with these students. We pair these students up with mentors to help them out that first year. These mentors are there for emotional support, for support in getting those dorm room supplies purchased. Each student gets a grant to spend on laptops, dorm room supplies. One of our young men that has been in our program for, I believe, 3 years now, said on our video at our I Celebrate Gala, he was so excited because he got a laundry basket. It was a game changer for him. So these are students that don't have a lot of home support, may have housing security at home, and so they are out on their own for the first time, and to have that mentor with them and us funding the basic needs, plus they get a scholarship that can be used at a trade school, can be used at community college, can be used at a university. It's huge. And this just came in, and Joanne knows about it. One of our wonderful SAP students just got accepted into Boeing's internship program. He emailed us today, and he is beyond excited, and you could just feel through the email he said it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't have been for the foundation and supporting him through this. So we are super excited for Legend, and I know he's going to do great things. Like I said, this is a program that we need additional funding. It's going to be cut back a little bit next year just because we've lost our grant funding. Water awareness. Our 3rd and 4th graders in our district learn how to swim, and that money comes through us. We give it to you, and then you give it on to Parks and Rec. So our water awareness program, we want to get those kids in the pool and make sure they learn how to swim. Events. Well, we have to do things in order to raise money. So one of our biggest events is I Celebrate. And this coming October, it'll be October 24th at 2026. I will make sure you all have personal invitations, and I would love to see you all there. It's a lot of fun. It's a gala, silent auction, and live auction, and of course a paddle race. And we need to have this event in order for the foundation to continue on. This Saturday, rain or shine, we'll be out there at West Albany High School for I Run for Kids. It's a 5K and a 10-mile. There's still time to sign up. And I twisted Andy's arm. Hopefully he remembers. We could still use volunteers this Saturday. So if you have nothing to do and you want to be out, most likely in the rain, you can come join us Saturday morning. 6:30 is we'll be setting up, and the registration opens at 8. And we couldn't be more thrilled that we have Jackson Auto Group as our presenting sponsor this year. And they also have scholarships with us. There's some pictures from last year. We have a mascot, a little run with the little kids. We have the little leprechaun dash, I forgot to mention. That's our kindergarten through 2nd grade. They run 2 times around the track, and it's started out by the mascots in town. And then Caesar the No Drama Llama, of course, will be there too. And then on April 25th is our Ice Swim for Kids. This really isn't a fundraiser so much for us. As we raise the money, we give it all back to the kids via classroom grants. The kids can earn money for their school. They can earn a Dutch Bros hot chocolate party. So it's all about getting the kids in the pool. One thing we started a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, was we noticed that some of our Title I schools, their participation was really low. And we thought, how can we break that barrier? Because what we were seeing was that kids that wanted to swim felt that it cost money. Well, it's totally free to come to Ice Swim and swim laps, but in order to get a free t-shirt, it costs $40. And so I started reaching out to business partners in town, my board, I guilted them into it. And for $40, you can sponsor a student. $100 for a business gets 2.5 kids in the pool. We try to get that other half from another donor. But last year we were able to get 30 students 10 from South Shore, 10 from 10 from Waverly, and 10 from Sunrise. And our goal this year to add in Periwinkle, so we have 40 kids in there that felt like they couldn't swim before because they don't have a grandparent or a parent that can sponsor them to swim, but they're still able to be with their friends and be just like them and take that barrier away and get the free t-shirt. So that's coming up. We also could use volunteers for that. And there's some fun pictures. And then I retire. Yes, you can. This used to be Lunch and Learn, and we switched it to an evening edition. We have a Lunch and Learn coming up in May that's for the general public. They're totally free. If you're 55 and older and you're thinking about retiring, I have a fabulous speaker that will come in and speak to what do you need to do to prepare. In the fall, we just had last November, our second I Retire for PERS employees. Again, totally free. And the same speaker, he knows how to navigate the PERS system, how to navigate Social Security, how to do all those things in order to prepare. And so we had the room totally packed last year, with teachers and administrators looking forward to retiring. And that will be coming up again this November. But these events, we just want to engage with the public. And so, like I said, our next I Retire is in May for the general public. We try to get out in the community as much as we can. We oftentimes get confused with the school district. We have people who think Albany Public Schools and they stop reading the foundation. So we try to make sure we're out in the public doing community events so that they know we're a nonprofit and we're looking to continue to support our teachers and students. So we did the Downtown Twice Around Parade, the picture there with Joanne, and another board member and one of my staff members is at the IGA Summer Block Party. We've been running billboards, just different things so that people know we've been here, although we've been here for over 40 years. And then Peely, our apple, quite popular, does a lot of engagements with the community at schools and other things, and kids now recognize them and freak out when they see Peely, and so it's working. So we're really excited to have Peely the apple. And like I mentioned, we're always looking for volunteers, whether it's pulling weeds out at our little courtyard area, or I swim, I run, or I celebrate. And that's all I have. Any questions? Well, thank you so much for allowing me to come. I'm going to leave some of these impact reports. There's more information in there about what we do. And we'd love to see you this Saturday and again for sure in the fall at I Celebrate.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. I actually had no idea about that supply thing. That's a really cool.
What's your report time on Saturday?
What time do you need to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, 6:30 to help us unload the U-Haul.
Oh.
I know. Shouldn't have asked. 7 o'clock, check in with Joanne and she'll give you your details.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right, now we're on to schools. Bruce.
Fantastic. I would like to introduce Jamie Shep from Lafayette Elementary School. She's going to share about the incredible programs that she has going on.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Lafayette Elementary, we have lots of changes. I've been at the school now for a year, and we started our work last spring, but as also in the summer, as many staff members who could join, we had a staff retreat where we worked on our mission and our vision statement, as well as our 3 school improvement goals. Our new mission is at Lafayette. We provide a safe learning environment that fosters strong relationships, cultivates academic excellence, social emotional growth, and resilience. We empower students to dream big, work hard, and lead with heart as they contribute positively to a changing world. And our vision is empower each other to thrive. So we really are relationship-based with parents, our students, and our staff. Goal 1 focuses on reading. In looking at our data, we noticed that over the last 3 years, our data has really been stagnant. We've ended the year every year about at 55%. And so this year by June, we're hoping to get to 60%. The data table on the right-hand side shows our cohorts as well as what our current data is right now in winter. We just finished our iReady diagnostic. And in all grade levels except for 2, we do have growth in comparison to last winter. So that is very encouraging. Some of the practices that we are currently doing and some shifts, we do have our daily small group and intervention instruction where SEAs do push in to the classrooms for extra support. Our focus this year has definitely been professional development with the help from Heidi Weatherall and our great instructional coach, Marissa Prosser, for the science of reading. So just making sure that we are all on our current practices as well as that small group instruction. So when I have been observing in the classrooms, I noticed that there were some differences. And so we're really working to align what small group instruction looks like. And then looking at our data as well, we noticed that our foundational skills, so that phonemic awareness and phonics, is definitely, we have some holes among our students. And so we're trying to fill in those gaps. We're also part of West Ed, who has come to other schools as well. And so we have that opportunity April 1st. We'll be doing some observations in classrooms as well as coaching. One thing that will be new this year at Lafayette is our learning walks. We'll work together with our grade bands. Our ILT team has already started those last week. They went ahead and use the form that we'll be using for what we're looking for students as well as for teachers. And so we're going to be doing those March and April, and then coming back together for our professional development in May, just really to see what exciting things that our staff saw and what kind of takeaways that they'll be using in their own classrooms. The instructional coach and myself also go to intervention groups to look at those opportunities to respond, making sure that those students that are in intervention have that voice and opportunity in intervention. We also have our ELD boost group. And so at that tier 3 level where we know students are getting that small group, they're getting the core and intervention, but sometimes they need a little extra. And so a boost group offers one-on-one opportunities for students. And we noticed that our ELD students had some pieces that they, some gaps that we needed to fill in. And so we have an SEA as well as our ELD teacher working with those students. Right now it's a group of 8 at the end of the day.
Before you move on.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I understand. All 3 of those columns are iReady scores, not
That's
state
correct.
test scores.
Yes.
And the third column is based on this year, end of year expectation.
That winter, that's our current scores right now.
Right, but are they, like, is it 20% of the kids are reading where they should be in the winter of this year or June of this year? Like, do you understand the question?
So this is the graph of achievement, not aspiration, the last column.
In the last column, that's where we currently are, our current test scores.
At grade level as of February?
As of right, yes.
So it's
kindergarten is
scaled?
correct, yes.
So your
Thank
fifth
you.
graders are doing great.
They are doing great, yes. So that's very encouraging. And first and fourth grade, that's where we're noticing, as you've heard from other schools, fourth grade, it's a challenge. And so we're looking to see, digging in that data and seeing where we can provide that growth. I will say for reading and for math, we have our ELD teacher has some space in her schedule, and so she's pushing in to support reading and math. So that started, she was helping fifth grade, so you can see those scores. And so we're hoping that fourth grade will have an increase.
Yeah.
Goal 2 focuses on math. End of last year, we were at that 39%. Each year, we're hoping to grow at 5%. So by June, we're hoping for 46%. Again, on the right-hand side column is where we are currently once we finish the iReady diagnostic. We have our new iReady curriculum. Teachers are really enjoying the new curriculum. The students, as I visit classroom, we're always looking for that student engagement, student talk, and it's definitely increased from when I came last year to this year. Students are enjoying the curriculum, the manipulatives, how the really the flow. We also have MyPath, so that's new this year. That's an online component. We also have our small math group, so that has been a shift also this year in looking for our reading small math groups, really looking to see what the need is for students and how we can group them differently. And in a teacher reflection, so when we do our core review with teachers, they set their own goals. So really deciding what instructional practices and changes they needed to shift in order for our students to get what they need. Goal 3, we focused on attendance this year. So typically we have always focused on behavior, but we really wanted to increase those regular attenders. And we are starting at that 64%, hoping to get to 67. In 2 more years, our goal would be 75. So You can see that this year we have 27 students that have perfect attendance, so that's a huge increase. We have really, the focus is in our foundations team as well as in our instructional leadership team as well, looking to see what the tier 1, 2, and 3 interventions can be. Our increased parent contact. So if I need to make phone calls, our dean of students, the office staff, we are all calling. And also for those positive, what's going well, those students who have perfect attendance. So making sure that at conferences we handed out attendance data so that way parents knew where their students stood and what would be expected at that time of year. We'll do that at spring conferences as well. We're doing individual and grade level recognition, so that's something new this year. The individual recognition looks like, we call it a 10 frame. So each time a student is present at school, they get a stamp or a sticker, and after they fill in the 10 frame, they get to turn it in, and we have a Monday prize drawing during our announcements, and so the students love to come up and get their prize. Grade level recognition has really been very popular. At our assemblies once a month, we have, we recognize our grade band that has over 90%, and we have a trophy, so each of the classrooms get to have the trophy for the whole month, so that's a big point of pride for their classroom. We also have attendance letters, so when students, again, positive or where they need some assistance. So if it's a positive recognition, we want parents to know, thank you for bringing your kids to school. We're so excited to see them daily. And if there's any pieces that we need to help with, we reach out to FACT, make routine phone calls in the morning, whatever the parents and the students need. And then at the tier 3 level, we have 9 students participating in that right now. That's with Shanna Turner and she's just working with those 9 kiddos that are in the red zone right now, and all of those kids have made great improvement. So they have met their goals. They have a personal goal. They also have, she reaches out to the families and the teachers, so we really are working collaboratively to make sure that our students are attending school. For our early literacy, we focus on, for Tier 1, daily Hegarty and ECRI. We have data-driven and skill-based small groups. So again, that has really been our focus of, we know what we need to teach in core, but what should small group look like? Making sure to fill in those gaps. And then moving on to intervention. So we're trying to keep the groups small. So we have between 2 and 5 students in groups, and we're seeing a benefit from that as well, lowering the group size. Tier 3 supports, as I shared earlier, we have Boost, so that would be individual 10-minute check-in sessions, work on the specific skill that they're needing. And then for that emphasis for our professional development, that science of reading, there are 3 staff members, as well as myself. We're taking the Core Learn program, just learning and building our skills. Our learning walks will be starting. We have vertical alignment that we're always looking at. And then just, again, calibrating what that structure looks like across the building level. Cell implementation, our school goal was student engagement, making sure that we're increasing that student talk. And my goal, as I have shared, is really building relationships with staff. So making sure that I am helping them with what they need, being present in the classrooms. I kind of call myself an everywhere all the time principal. So I'm in the cafeteria, but also making sure to be present in the classrooms as well. And then as after observations, making sure that the debrief is very collaborative, and then really looking at what are the next steps. So I might have my idea, but we really work together to move the dial of what they think that they need as well. And next year, we definitely, along with math, we'll definitely have a cell professional development, really incorporating more of those pieces next year. Our points of pride and promise. Our 5th grade leadership, that's something new. We had that a little bit last year, but we have really increased that. So we have what's called Paw Patrol, and that's fifth graders that are outside at recess, kindergarten through third grade recesses, just supporting, making sure that students are getting supported where they need. We have what's called Tree of Choices, and that's our problem-solving piece from Character Strong. We have our Golden Awards, and that's noticing positive behavior in the cafeteria, in our art room, and clean classrooms, and so just really noticing what is going well. And then attendance, I did share that we have all of those new interventions in tiers 1 through 3. Family engagement, so we have our math night, we had our literacy escape room theme last week, which was really fun, and our family picnic. And our family picnic, that's something that we have always done at Lafayette, but we are now going to make that more of a family engagement piece. As students go out for the summertime and parents are asking questions, how can I support my student over summer? We'll be providing some ideas, hopefully having some community members, the library come, and just seeing what are those pieces that students can have for the summer. And then our parent club. So as I shared last year when I was here, that was something that I really wanted to start. And the bottom left picture is our parent club at our Polar Express event day in December. And we have first Monday of the month, we have our parent club meeting. And we have over 30 members now. We have a solid 20 members that come every month. We have a school carnival that's being planned. We've had several coin drives, and next Monday I'll be pied in the face by a certain classroom who raised the most money. So looking forward to that. I need to go buy my goggles at Costco for sure. So, and then we also have Albany Youth Orchestra, who is coming in Tuesdays and Thursdays to teach students strings. Any questions?
I'm curious about the logistics of the intervention groups. As kids master skills, do you have to reconfigure groups?
We do, yes. We look at that every 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And so our instructional coach and classroom teachers, we come together and really look to see who has made growth and doesn't need intervention anymore and can have their needs met in small group, and then really looking at who else needs some support.
Oh, you really have to be up to the minute with them.
Yes,
to do that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Next up, we have Tabitha Cornelson from Waverly to share some incredible programming that she has going on and some great growth patterns that are being exhibited at school.
Which way does this go? There I am. All right. Hi, I'm Tabitha Cornelson, principal at Waverly. It's my 3rd year. As you can tell, we changed our mascot this year. We were Waverly Stars, and now we're the Wombats. But since our whole building is space themed, we put them in a little spacesuit. So we're just running with it. But our mission is we will work to develop critical thinking skills and focus on the values of respect, perseverance, and compassion. Our vision, everyone at Waverly Elementary School will contribute to a safe environment and an academic learning community. All right, our first goal is we're trying to improve our climate and culture. Our goal is to have 7% or less students exhibit a need for Tier 3 behavior support. And so that would be a 2% decrease from previous years. So if you look across, right now, we're at 7.6%, and our goal is 7%, so we're getting there. But the yellow zone from last year to this year is huge. It went from 12% to 6.2%, and we've increased our green zone as well. So our behaviors are, we're reducing behaviors and really supporting our students. So our action steps, we're strengthening school-wide expectations and routines. We review behavior data weekly to identify areas of need. Our behavior team meets every Friday, and we do Tier 2 one Friday, and then the following Friday we do Tier 3, and we really look where our students are, what trackers are coming in for them, how can we support them, what plan can we do, and then we meet with teachers every 6 to 8 weeks to go over it as well. I mean, we're meeting all the time, honestly, but that's like the official meetings. And then we're providing prompt targeted support for students. Within this too, my counselor goes and teaches class lessons. We're doing a lot of SEL. We're just finding ways to support our students and decrease the behaviors. Goal 2 is to, we want, by June 2026, the number of students identified as at or above benchmark will increase by 5% yearly as identified by literacy composite data. That's through the iReady. And so those are our cohorts. 25-26 is it's right now what they took in winter. That's who's at or above grade level right this minute. The thing that I do want to point out is that we have very high mobility rate at Waverly. So we have we lost like 40 students at the end of last year and gained 40 new ones. So we're like all over the place. If you even look at the red group, the end of kinder, spring iReady score, we had 70%. Well, then, and it's funny that it's 63 for 24-25 at the end of the year, but when they left in that spring, we had 70% on grade level. When they came first grade in fall, we only had 63% of those, of students still in that cohort. We had so many kids leave and get new students. So it's really hard to go by cohorts because our kids are always moving in and out. But if you look at the bottom, you can see our iReady scores in fall and most recent in winter. And like 3 grade levels below, we reduced the amount of kids from 32 kids to 14 that are 3 below. 2, we decreased it 48 to 31. 1 grade level below, 77 to 70. And the students on grade level, we increased that amount from 20 kids at the beginning of the year in fall to 62 now. So we're working hard and trying to meet our students where they're at. Okay, goal 3 is based on math, and it's also increasing it by 5% yearly. You can see those cohorts as well. And I don't think I mentioned it in goal 2, but we're doing pretty much the same things. We're doing data snaps. We go through and we collect data. We're doing, my teachers are doing learning walks. They go see each other. We have teachers from other schools coming to see the teachers at my school, and they're always, my teachers at Waverly are amazing. They always have their doors open. They're welcoming people. We come through, do so many walkthroughs all the time, and they just go with it. And then professional development is brought, it's led by ILT, our instructional leadership team. We have literacy night, an escape room just like Jamie is coming up this Thursday. We already did math night where we play a bunch of math games. And then we're using the new curriculum. My teachers our students, I should say, not my teachers, are talking so much. They're really just learning together, and it's great to see. And we use MyPath. So if you look at the scores at the bottom again, you can see 3 grade levels below went from 32 to 18, so that's a 14 decrease. 2 grade levels was 43 to 36, so that's 7. 1 grade level below is 95 to 83, that's 12. And then on grade level, we increased it 33 from 9 to 42 students. So we're seeing progress. Early literacy, we do ECRI and HEGRITY for K2. And we even do it in 3rd grade a little bit in a small group as needed, the ECRI. We have targeted small group and interventions with SEA support. We decrease group sizes for interventions. We do a core phonics screener for K2 students to see where their lagging skills are. We have the intervention review meetings with classroom teachers every 8 weeks, where we do move students around and support them with whatever areas they need. Intervention observations are done by my instructional coach. She gives those teacher or SEAs back feedback like, oh, okay, you have a great amount of or opportunities to respond. Let's work on this or whatever the need is. So there's always constant coaching, and but my SEAs are amazing. We have progress monitoring every other week minimum, including on grade level progress monitoring monthly, so we can see where our students are. where we need to fill the gaps. Cell implementation, I'm doing routine observations, rubric-focused discussions and timely feedback, and all of my staff figured out last year we went through the rubric, and then they designed what their goals are going to be. And then this year I took parts of the rubric so we can keep learning it and their goals, and we focused on that. So I had 18 certified staff that I did observations on, and I've done 95 observations so far, and I have 2 more to do, so I'm almost there. And that doesn't include all the data snaps and walkthroughs and cell observations that we do in trios, which I find to be very valuable because we go to other schools and we're able to compare and really talk through what we're seeing so we can be on the same page as principals. Next steps is continue the regular classroom observations and feedback. Even when I'm done, I was a coach before this, and that's what I love doing. So I just go in the classrooms and work with my teachers and see if there's anything I can help them with. And have ILT continue to provide professional development based on what trends we are seeing. Points of pride. We're in the attendance pilot program still. Right now, we have 67% regular attenders. This time last year, we had 47%. And at the end of the year, we had 58%. So we're working hard to get our students to school and our staff. And we have all kinds of fun incentives for that. Including mentors for attendance and students who need a daily check-in. We have a couple of different people that check in with students to tell them we love them and we want them to be there and celebrate them being at school. Our Boys and Girls Club satellite program on site is a point of pride, and the building on our campus is looking amazing. It's going up quick. And so that's super exciting. We have smart readers that come and read with our students on Thursdays. Thanks to Tracy Zimmerman for putting that together at my school site. I kind of talked about decreased in behavior trackers. I already discussed how much my teachers do learning walks and support each other. We have fun family nights. If you walk around my school, you'll see champs everywhere. The kids know exactly what they should be doing in every spot of the school. And I just have to say, hey, what should you be doing? They'll be like, walking with the 0. Like, they know. And they get back on track. It's great. We have great systems thanks to my dean, Mr. Luttrell, and my coach, Ms. Santana. They've really, really stepped up our MTSS systems for both behavior and academics. The community has really come through for Jogathon donations and Spirit of Giving. If you haven't been to Spirit of Giving, please come to Spirit of Giving in December. It's so awesome.
It is amazing. It's incredible.
It really is, that every student gets to take home a gift for every single person that lives at their house, or if they're split houses, both houses, they have to give. They can't get one for themselves. But it's really neat.
That's an understatement. I had the chance to go this year, walked into the gym, and it was like walking into a store. The gifts, the quality of the gifts, what kids get to do, and watching them in many cases, they don't even know how to fill out a to from card. So when you are there and you get to see that, Tab, you really, it's incredible. So thanks.
Yeah, and Jen Nelson really heads that on, and it really is incredible. And we have people come and wrap gifts and help kids shop, and you're welcome to attend next year. And then, like I said, the staff at Waverly just goes above and beyond. I am so lucky to work there. And we're closing the gap between any subgroups. We are doing data snaps where we go through and we write down what kids are saying, and we check for academic rigor and quality interactions, and we give back rubrics to teachers and feedback, like what's going well, what's the next step we can do? And I think that's really powerful as well. And so that's it. Any questions?
When your kids leave, do they go to other Albany schools, or do you know where they go?
When,
What, you have, your
Like-
population is relatively transient.
oh,
Yeah.
I know I have kids at multiple schools that just moved in within Albany. Some move out of the state. They,
Everywhere, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
You got a lot to be really proud of. Positive, your behavior growth really good, your academic growth really good. But I'm gonna have to ask you a question about a negative, although largely positive. So but it keeps bothering me. 6% of your third graders passing math right now, or at grade. That's like 3 kids.
Yeah, that's at grade level.
Yeah.
And that is a focus of ours. I think with the new curriculum and everything, they're getting the kid, like our kids are moving in the right direction, but they were 2-3 grade levels below, so it's hard. We're working on getting them to grade level.
Do you think a function of that is switching up, like the new
I
curriculum?
think the new curriculum is going to help a lot.
Helping, but maybe initially a little bit of a holdback and then a
Maybe because
burst.
the teachers are learning it.
And then do you tend to see a kind of a burst between now and spring where
Yes.
it seems like that.
Yeah, it usually goes up quite a bit by spring.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I asked Jamie about the scaling, because it almost seems like it's not the same. But
Yeah.
something's wrong with the scaling or something. I don't know. That number just jumped off the page, so I thought I'd get your take on it.
Yeah, I almost didn't put those because it's winter and all the rest are to spring, and
Right.
there's huge growth that happens there. But I ended up adding them just so you can see where we're at now.
Yeah, and for yours, the bottom data was way more impactful and powerful than the graph data anyway. So it'd be nice maybe for you to repackage that just from a marketing standpoint.
Yes,
but,
definitely.
But good job, good presentation.
Thank you. And my ILT is doing professional development based on math and things like that too, so that we can, because we've always been focused on the reading piece. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
all right. Anything else? Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
I just want to add, you've heard in the last 2 or 3 meetings, people's cumulative totals for their observations. But I like, when you hear a number like that, how much efficiency has been built into that now.
Yeah.
They're really getting good at that. And Sue's made the comment that she really sees teachers and administrators now really developing a common language as they get, more and more familiar with it. So great job. Great job, Sue. Great job, Tab. Jamie.
And last but not least, we have Mr. Mark Hannon to share about Albany Option School.
Well, thank you, folks. It is definitely my privilege to talk to you tonight about Albany Options. This is our mission statement. It has not changed in the 6 years that I've been here, although we did talk at our last staff meeting that it might be time to tweak it a little bit. So maybe this time next year we'll have something a little bit different for you. So the 3 goals that I'm going to go over tonight are carryovers from last year. And the first goal, 100% of graduates or GED completers will have an implemented post-secondary plan by the end of this school year, which will be a 32% increase since we began this in 23-24. All of the action steps and the data that we use to come up with this goal are the same as they were in the past 2 years, except for we this year have really made a concerted effort to get students attending, which, as APSF said earlier tonight, if we can get them there, they're going to be successful. So we are, when I made this slide, we had 75% of our GED completers had met this goal, but that was only with 2 students remaining. We've since had 5 more GED completers, and they have all met this goal. So we're still 2 students away in GED, and we're at 98% of our graduates, and we're going to be roughly 50-ish or so graduating this year. So we have 1 student remaining, and that was a new student that we just received at our last grading period. So by the end of this school year, we will have met this goal. Goal number 2 is our 5-year completer rate goal. And this is going to be a goal that we keep in perpetuity. It's really the goal that we use to measure our effectiveness. And as you know, I've talked about this 6 years straight now. We use this goal as opposed to the graduation rate, which South and West use, for a number of reasons. The main reason is it includes our GED students. Every GED student that we have that earns their GED counts against our graduation rate. So our completer rate includes those. So we include them. And we include them over the course of 5 years as opposed to 4 years because the majority of our students come to us credit deficient, and sometimes it takes them 5 years. So really it's the best measure for us to check on our effectiveness. Again, the thing that we have done this year that's different is focusing on attendance. We have weekly meetings with the attendance team, which includes Mr. John Hunter. I mentioned last year that we were able to bring back the former South principal, a former AOS principal, and his sole purpose is to improve our attendance. And if you could see him at work, and for those of you that know him, it's awesome to watch because he really grinds on every single student that he works with. I'm going to show you here in a minute the fruits of his labor. So it includes individual meetings, home visits, and then this year we've added him to our parent meetings when we are discussing specifically students' attendance. Goal number 3 is our goal specific to attendance, and I'm going to come clean. This goal is not a good goal for us. We're going to rewrite this goal for next year. Regular attender rate is students that attend 90% or more, and our regular attender rate is significantly below the state average. But we have found that if we can get students at the 80% level, they're successful. And Mr. Hunter has done a lot of data, and he's looked at a lot of data. And when we get students at 80% or above, the number of students that are successful in our building is enormous. And I'm going to show you the data that he's been working on here in a minute. Again, we've done parent meetings. We have included him. We've done individual student meetings. He has done 67 home visits this year alone. He has also completed 258 individual student check-ins, which impacted 59 different students. So he's meeting one-on-one, we're meeting as a team, we're meeting with parents, and he's actually visiting homes, and it's making a difference.
Mark, I want to give you this data table here, because I don't think it made it in.
It didn't make it in.
Hold my computer there, so just.
You know what, I have the hard copy right
All right,
here.
perfect. Chris has printed it up also, so.
Sorry about that. I thought that this made it into the slide presentation. Here it is. So as you recall, I hired him in the middle of last school year. So the graph that you're going to receive that?
Yeah.
The graph that you'll receive, it's highlighted in yellow when he began. And so over the course of the last half of last year and the first half of this year, he's worked for us for about a calendar year now. And in 24-25, the overall attendance was 77%. That's 77% of our students are attending. And by the end of, or at the beginning, the middle of this school year, it is now 82%. And 82% is obviously a 5% increase, and 5% didn't sound like a lot to us at first until we started diving into this data. And it's it's really a pretty significant jump. So next year, when we rewrite this goal, we're going to rewrite it with this data and use this data and progressively move up. Because 90% was just not an attainable goal to begin with. We hope to get there someday, but we need to stair-step the work that we're doing.
Mark, is that including your students that are waiting to retake the GED?
I appreciate that question.
Thank you.
So we met with Mr. Schmidt, when was that? A couple of months ago.
I think it was in like September, October.
Oh, okay, several months ago. And what we found was we needed to pull the GED students out of this data and look at them as their own separate group. And the reason that we felt like we needed to do that is, if you're familiar with our GED program, students come to us in the morning. Well, we have 3 different time frames that they can come to us, but they come to us during the day and they work. It's mostly a fully self-contained online program. Now, we have a math teacher that is supporting that program, and he's currently doing math lessons every day. But for the most part, it's a fully self-contained online program. So students show up, they work on that program. If they're not there for a day, they just come back the next time they're here and they pick up where they left off. So there's not really a huge incentive for them to be there every single day like it is for our students that are in the classroom. So we've pulled those students. We're still working on improving that attendance, but we're using them differently. We're looking at that data independently. So to answer your question, we've pulled those GED students out of that data.
The other thing is sometimes they have to wait to take their next test, right? So they have a wait period.
Yeah, that's been a really complicated factor in terms of when students there's 4 tests in our GED program, and they get 3 opportunities to pass each one of those 4 tests. If they don't pass a test in those 3 opportunities, their 4th opportunity, they have to wait 60 days. So we have a number of students, in fact, we have 19 students that are down to just the math test. And out of those 19 students, about half of them are on the 60-day wait list. So it's asking a lot of our students that are in that 60-day wait period to attend on a daily basis when they're not testing for 2 full months out. So that has been another contributing factor to our GED students' attendance not being as good as it should be. We're going to improve that.
So you're saying that those kids aren't in this data? Kids that don't miss instruction when they don't miss school are excluded from the data on that we're looking at for attendance, or they're included?
For GED?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this data that you'll be receiving is only our high school program graduation.
Gotcha. What about your other credit recovery kids? They'd be in the same boat, right? If they're not there, the curriculum stops until they get back.
So other credit
Well,
recovery.
do you have Odyssey where only classes or not? You don't do that?
We
I
do,
think you
but
just call
those
it-
students transition back into our high school program. So
Oh,
we
okay.
count those students.
You do count them, okay.
Yes. Only the GED is pulled out. Every other student is included in this data.
Okay.
And we found that keeping those separate, it gives us not only cleaner data, but it gives us a better way to look at the factors that are preventing them from attending on a day-to-day basis.
Gotcha. Okay.
Our college and career readiness, this is something that we're very proud of. That we're in year 3 of a full-time career advisor. And this year, all of those things she's been doing in the past, except I'd like to bring your attention to that last bullet. She now teaches the newly required Career Foundations class, which is for our district, our current sophomores. So all of our sophomores have taken her Career Foundations class. We've also offered it to our juniors and seniors as an elective course if they choose, and many of them are choosing to take it. But she will teach that course moving forward now to next year's incoming sophomores. Our cell implementation began fall a year ago, and we as a staff decided last spring that our focus for this school year was going to be in the purpose dimension, specifically connecting the learning targets to standards, which is purpose 1, P1, communication of the learning target, P4, and success criteria, P5. We decided as a staff those three things were what we were going to focus on this year, and it's been awesome because we've been able to really focus in on those three things, and that's what I look for specifically when I go into the classrooms. What we've found throughout the year for our areas of growth are students using that success criteria to communicate their learning during the lesson and after the lesson. And that's something I'm in an administrative PLC, and we have discussed that seems to be an area of growth, at least in the other schools that were in my PLC. And then number two, a consistent checking for understanding of the learning target throughout the lesson. That's something and that's an easy fix. That's just doing it. And so it's something that we're going to focus on moving forward. This is my favorite slide to talk about. This year, we have, you can see on the seal of biliteracy, 2 years ago we had 3 students. Last year we had 4 students. This year we have 13 students that have indicated they are going to go through the process of earning the seal of biliteracy. And it's just awesome that has blown up like that, because really it's students going through the process to get this little sticker that they get on their diploma, which is really cool, but it's a pretty extensive process that they go through, and it's quite an accomplishment, and we're really proud of those 13 kids. Last year, this is the first year last year was the first year since I've been principal at AOS that we had students go straight into 4-year universities, and we had 2. And typically, we have a lot of students that go to college, but they typically go the community college route for a number of reasons, one of them being Oregon Promise. A couple of the other factors, we haven't in the past offered the foreign language requirement, which we will be offering this spring, which I'm really proud of. But moving forward, those 2 students, one at Western Oregon University and one at Grand Canyon University, and awesome kids, awesome experiences at AOS, and they're still doing great there as of today. I mentioned the home visits. That's been something that we've been really emphasizing, and Mr. Hunter does a great job of that. And one thing I do want to mention about the home visits, we have emphasized that when he goes to do home visits, and I want to add that Aja McFadden also joins him on these home visits. Those are not punitive interactions. Those are what can we do to help. If nobody answers the door, he leaves a card saying, "We miss you, how can we help?" And it's making a difference. The next point of pride, our first ever offsite prom. Last year, Leadership Albany visited AOS as they do every year, and there was a representative from the Y that left me her card, and she said, "Hey, if there's ever anything that we can do for you guys, give me a call." And so we reached out this winter and said, "Hey, what about us holding our prom at the Y?" So we went and met with them, and I want to give a special shout out to Matt Foote at the Y for making this an affordable event for AOS, because we make it free of charge to our students. So the cost of holding it there comes out of the AOS budget, and it's nominal, I can say that, and I really appreciate that. Lastly, and this one, I'm not going to be able to read it, so I'm going to have you folks read it because it's so cool. We have a student that started out in our academy program, finished in our GED program, and she is now finishing her second term at LBCC in the pipe welding program. She came and visited us, and it was a pretty emotional day. So that's our points of pride. Questions?
Yeah, I mean, the four-year college thing's awesome, and it's amazing, but I'm thinking about the process to get to AOS and the havoc it wreaks on your transcript, thinking that's the biggest barrier to go into a four-year school.
Oh, it's a barrier for sure.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of wondering how they got over that.
Well, that's a great question. We have magical ways of getting around things like GPA.
Okay.
And many of the students that come to us with, we always say every student has a story. And sometimes those stories work to their benefit of getting into higher education. Cool. And so we utilize those stories, even though they've often been stories that have prevented them from being successful. In this, we turn it around and they become successful.
Good. I guess that's what I was hoping to hear is the four-year colleges are considering that and not just the number on the page.
They do.
That's awesome.
They do.
And I think I was going to ask you, but I think I figured it out, the main difference between what John does, Mr. Hunter does, and like a counselor or fact, but I bet the home visits is the main difference, and the relationship.
Well, you know him personally,
Right.
And for those of you that know him, and I knew this going into reaching out to him and twisting his arm and talking him into this. I didn't have to twist his arm very hard. He's a kid guy, and he likes to walk around our building knowing that he no longer has to be the bad guy. And he likes to remind me that that's my job, and he gets to be good guy, Mr. Hunter, all the time now, and he's really good at that.
Nice.
I really appreciate the way you move things to accommodate your students so flexibly. Because you have to do that, I think, to be successful, but a lot of people can't manage it.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's kind of our jam. That's what we do, and Mrs. Lunsford knows that firsthand.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have two in my household. One is my child that is a graduate of AOS, and I just know how special that school has been in their lives. Huge, huge impact in both of their lives, so.
Well, one of the things that I always say to you folks is a big thank you, because keeping our class sizes the way that we do, I understand and appreciate the cost that costs the Greater Albany Public Schools. And when we're talking about what I thought was 10 million, so that was great news tonight that it's 6.6. Well, not great news, but better news that it's 6.6. I recognize that it's a commitment by you folks to continue to fund our school, and I really appreciate it. And so do our kids.
I just want to thank you and again say you guys have of the three high schools the hardest slog. You've got the kids with the greatest need for assistance and support, and routinely you knock it out of the park. And so just thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and you're making a big impact on these kids and setting them up for success, and just couldn't ask for any better.
Well, I appreciate that and invite you all to come to graduation. It's a special night, and it's like no other graduation I've been a part of. So thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Mark.
Okay. All these schools put their points of pride and promise on their slide ride. If I was going to make a points of pride and promise for gaps, the first thing on the list would be AOS. That's an amazing program. And if you go around the state and talk to other districts, a lot of them are jealous that are aware of it, and the ones that aren't, it's just amazing. And it really isn't that expensive for what we pull out, what they pull off there. So it's a great school. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's
Okay, consent agenda. Let's move on to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve it as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda passes. Now we're on to old business, no old business. Reports, no reports. I don't know if it's a report, but he mentioned PLCs. Mark did. Do all our admins do admin PLCs?
So, Andy, you want to answer that, or?
I'll let Bruce, because
Okay.
Bruce set that up this year.
I was gonna say, okay.
Kind of change the learning environment.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, so maybe you don't have to, you can do it now or maybe do some. tell us later.
I can just make it super quick. So we, in our all administrator team meetings, we meet once a month. And based on the input that we received from our administrators last year, we kind of restructured a big part of that meeting. So we identified several key points that would increase student achievement across the district. Administrators chose whichever one they wanted to work on. And then what I've done is I've grouped them based on their area of interest. So in any particular group, you'll have elementary, middle, and high school principals working together on an area of their interest. And it's something that we're focused on as a district, right? But they just get to choose what they want to work on. They get together for about an hour every month and collaborate on generating what it is they want to learn about, how they're going to apply that strategy in their building, and then they bring back data and information from what they've learned over the course of that month and share that with their team. They refine their model, they refine what they're doing, and then they go back and reapply some new ideas and then come back to the group. So it's been really fun to watch them develop that and work together in ways that they haven't really worked like that in the past, because it's all driven by their ideas, their choice, and it's about their learning. So it's been really cool.
Very cool. Okay. Excellent. Reports. Oh, there's in there. Sorry. New business. We are on the nutrition services RFP contract. Dave.
Great, thank you. Our crowd's dwindling out there, but I'd like to bring up Mark Welch. He's Vice President of Operations for Genuine Foods, and he's going to help me with my presentation here. I gave you an executive summary in your packet, and I don't know if you can pull that up, but I gave that to you to let you know that this is a very complex, complete, thorough process that ODE requires to execute this RFP. Each one of those bullets is a step that you have to check off with the state. Richard Williams is our support from the state. He is probably the best individual that I've worked with at ODE. He is phenomenal with his knowledge and his support that he provides us. So this contract is a period for 1 year with an option to renew for the next 4 years. Remember last spring I brought you a 1-year emergency contract. This is now getting us back on the normal cycle of a 1-year contract with an option of 4 years to extend past that. So we're back on the normal cycle now. Quite a process to go through, very scripted. I had the pleasure of facilitating that process. I'm not a voting member of that process, but I facilitated it. We had 7 representatives from the food service staff participate with us, 2 from the district office, Jane and Bruce were scorers for us. 7 of the 9 committee members selected Genuine Foods as their top award winner. I also facilitated, after that committee completed their work, with the Big 8 committee that we have for food service, took that to them. We had discussions at that level too. And all which yield an offer that's coming for you tonight. The contract that you're seeing in your packet has already been approved by our ODE. I did that in advance for you so you could review it. And one thing to highlight is the price per meal. You see that we have a little bit of an increase from last year. but it was, I think, 7 cents from an increase from last year, but it was well below the lowest bidder that we had come to us. So we had 5. I made the visit to the district mandatory for the companies to be a participant at. We had 5 companies show up to our mandatory site visit. We had 3 submit RFPs. So of the 3, Genuine Foods was not only the highest scorer, but they were also lowest in price. So with that, straight from Houston today, flying out tomorrow to Vermont.
Yes.
So, and I told Genuine Foods, you don't have to send anybody here. I got this, right? But they sent somebody anyway, and that's kind of company they have. If I was going to describe Genuine Foods of what we've done over the last year, I would say partners is what they are. We're still improving. It's not perfect. We're still growing. We're still working out some kinks. We got good leadership teams that are communicating back and forth. There's been some bumps in the road. One day I sent a text to 3 of the corporate leaders and said, hey, we need to get together and talk about this. We had a talk at 1 o'clock that same day. So that's the kind of support that I'm getting from Genuine, true partners in the work. And then at the end, I'll bring up John and Scott, and they'll be able to join Mark to answer your questions as well. But Mark, anything to add?
Just real quickly, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to perhaps continue the partnerships, really appreciate it. And I only get to come up here today from Houston for 3 reasons. 1, the executive leadership of Dave and his vision, the local leadership of Scott and the team, but truly the most important thing is the greater Albany employees in the cafes. They have embraced change, they have embraced process, they've embraced local and fresh items such as looking at making fresh breakfast breads and homemade calzones and things of that nature. I don't have the honor to be up here except for what the employees and the cafes have been doing. They've embraced it. They are providing the nutrition the children need to succeed. They're truly buying into it. There have been hurdles, ups and downs as every day in food service, but the team has made it happen, and I have the privilege to serve them and provide them the tools and resources they need to be successful, but it all starts in that cafe. I serve Scott and the team and John. They serve the employees in the schools who serve the children, and it's a servant leadership model. And I just get the pleasure to get up here as the head cook and bottle washer and take some credit for it. So thank you very much.
Scott and John, you want to come up and see if the board has any questions that you might need to answer as well? But if you have any questions on the RFP, we're here to answer them for you as well.
I mean, the only question I guess I would have is, it seems like that there's been a noticeable attempt at marketing the positivity of the product, and I want to know if that's going to continue. Because I think that's been good. I think sending the message we care what our kids are eating and through our media has been good for us.
So that was one couple calls early in September. So behind those calls has been a corporate team that's helping Becca produce those marketing. We've missed the mark on some because some of the advertisements have been specific to maybe middle and high and not going to the elementary schools. So we have to be more specific about that. But it's an integral part in improving participation. We're even talking today, we're using fresh meat from the Wall family farm in Shed. And I was talking to some kids in school on Friday, and I said, hey, do you know we're using this meat? And they said, no, but if I did, I would have probably got the nachos, right? Because they're used to the commodity, what do they call it, crumble?
It's pre-cooked beef crumble. It doesn't taste very well. So going with the fresh product, you brought that up. We're going to do some marketing and signage. But we do want to continue the partnership in the marketing because it's just like anything else. It's like a tree in the forest. If nobody knows what's happening, they won't try it. They don't have a perception. So the marketing along with Try It Tuesdays, other outreach, carts and things of that nature, whenever we get a student to participate and try something new, it can change their flavor profile. Just like gardens, wherever possible, we want to include the items from the gardens, put those in the cafeteria. Because when children get to see things they participated in, they're going to try it, they're going to enrich it. And the most important thing to control the expenses as well is participation. So the higher the density of children, the more they're willing to participate and try new things, the better off the program is. But these 2 gentlemen are the ones making it happen locally, along with the team on the ground in the cafes, because it's a team sport. It's not one individual. but we're going to continue the marketing process and the enrichment and engagement and continue that outreach in the community. Because parents, sometimes I hear from people, oh, my cafe is horrible. Well, great. When was the last time you were there? Oh, 2 years ago. Well, come on, let's go have lunch. If they don't know there's been a change, they won't bring their children in and the children won't participate. And then when we get negative feedback, we got to change the menu, change the process, change the flow. Just because you try something, it's a great idea, it doesn't mean it works. And we got to reformulate and go back to the drawing board and re-implement. And these two individuals and the team and the schools make it happen.
I just want to say, I looked at the cost, and it's a 3.9% increase, which I think is pretty modest in this environment with food costs. So I applaud you for getting it done. But in all fairness, I do notice a significant lack of snacks tonight. I'm just joking, of course. Yeah, there's like no cookies present. There was no pizza. There was, again, no, your food is wonderful, and we appreciate every time you provide it. And I look forward to having a long relationship with you guys. It's been a great turnaround for our district.
Thank you very much. It's due to Dave and this team here and the school and the ladies and gentlemen in the cafe making it happen. They deserve all the credit.
Awesome.
Meat came from really local here?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I just want to make one other thing. Dave says a lot about being a teammate, and he values that. Dave is a great teammate as well.
Appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the Genuine RFP contract as presented.
I will make the motion to approve the Genuine Food contract as presented.
Do I hear a
I'll
second?
second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, carries, approved. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We have other business info only. Susie, and as she is not here, I looked at the report and nothing jumped off the page. I don't know if anybody had any questions. And
Was there anything you wanted to present? Andy, or-
Brad had asked for some ratios of staff, like
Oh,
the students.
okay.
We're working on that related to both long-range facility and budget.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting that information to you in another form.
Sounds good.
Thanks for your question, Brad.
Sure.
Okay. I didn't get my sign-up sheet. Does that mean it's blank?
It's not blank. So we do have speakers. Awesome. Hang on just a second. We'll give us a
Social media person
10-second
texting
timeout
during the
here.
meeting.
Waiting for the slide to tell me to go get it.
Oh, yeah. Who's?
That's great.
Okay, we got one. So she's an old hat at this though, so she doesn't need me to read the whole thing. 15 minutes, 3 minutes to provide public comment. Don't criticize anybody, follow our policies. Got it? All right, Liz Craig, you're up.
Oh, I like it.
Good evening. I'm Liz Craig. I'm the president of the Classified Employees here in GAPS. I just wanted to reiterate what Andy said. It was really great to get our ground rules settled and signed, and now anyone can go onto the website and watch what happens behind the scenes with the Classified Association in the district, so really encourage that. I'm also on the Long Range Committee. That is accessible to the public. People should please get on there, educate yourself in what's going on in our schools with our school buildings. On Friday, we had an update, a health update that went out to all of our members. Our lobbying efforts have paid off, and we were able to help secure some extra funding for testing. So more to come on that soon. I agree, Dave is a great teammate, and I know I give him a lot of credit as I work with a lot of the facilities folks, but it has been a great effort turning this food service deal into what it is today, and I agree, great teammate there. Ryan, I really appreciate everything that you've done for this district, and I hope that lots of great things come for you in the future. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz.
Okay. Any more public comment? All right, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn tonight's meeting.
All right, a second.
I second it.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned.
Sweet. Thanks.